Hey guys, it's Jake here with eTrailer. Today we have a 2023 Ford Edge, and we're going to be taking a look at, and I'll show you how to install the CURT Class 3 2-inch hitch receiver. A 2-inch hitch receiver to the back of your Ford Edge is going to allow you to haul bike racks, cargo carriers, because on the inside of this Ford Edge in the trunk area, it's got quite a bit of space, but if you've got every seat in the vehicle full, chances are you're going to have a lot of luggage or packages, what have you. So getting those out onto a cargo carrier is going to give you some more space inside. As for bike racks, bikes don't fit inside the Ford Edge very easily, so especially if they're muddy coming off the trail, you can throw those on a bike rack, get them clean, and get them home. If you're wanting to tow a trailer with this hitch, it is rated to tow a trailer. You will want to pick up 4-pole wiring to be able to safely tow that trailer. Our hitch is going to feature a 5/8 inch hitch pin hole. You can pick up a locking or non-locking hitch pin on our website. The hitch does not come with one, so you want to be sure to have one to hold your accessories in place. Our safety chain loops, I like this design of safety chain loop because it's nice and easy to get your safety chains hooked up. Typically they'll have like a flat bar or a loop off the side, but the way that these connect, I like how they're lower than the hitch. You just want to make sure that your safety chains are crossed and not dragging. As far as the weight capacities go for this hitch, you're going to have a max tongue weight capacity of 675 pounds and a max gross trailer weight capacity of 4,500 pounds. That is the trailer plus the load included. You will want to check with your Edge's owner's manual to check your submodel for what it is designed to tow and go with the lowest amount between the hitch and the vehicle. Now, as far as measurements go, from the center of our hitch pin hole to the outermost part of our bumper is about 5 inches. You want to use that measurement if you're looking into getting an accessory that folds up to the back of the vehicle or looking for a ball mount that extends out past the hitch. Compare that 5 inches to the center of the hitch pin hole in the accessory to the closest part of the accessory. That will tell you with that measurement whether or not that accessory is going to fit great on the back of your Edge. From the ground to the top inside of the receiver tube is about 12 3/4 of an inch. That's high enough to where you shouldn't have to worry about any accessories dragging. That will drop if you have like a cargo carrier or a bike rack with a lot of heavy bikes on it. The back of your vehicle will tend to sag a little bit, so just keep that in mind. You don't want any of those accessories dragging on the ground. Now, as far as the installation goes for this hitch, it's a pretty straightforward and easy installation. You just have to remove a couple of plastic panels underneath, remove another plastic panel if you have it. Our vehicle did not come with one from the factory, so we didn't have to worry about taking that one out. If you have that plastic panel in the center, you will have to cut a stud off, so you want to make sure you have a Dremel or something with a cutting wheel in order to trim that off. But other than that, you don't have to make any other modifications to your vehicle. Simply run your hardware through the frame. There's going to be 4 bolts on each side. We lift the hitch up into place and then put everything back the way we found it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and show you how we did it. To begin our installation, we're going to start over on our driver's side, but whatever we do to this plastic panel, we're going to repeat on the passenger side. We'll take a 5.5 millimeter socket, remove these 2 screws that are connecting this plastic panel. Now we're going to take a 10 millimeter socket and remove the 2 flange nuts that are holding the remainder of this plastic panel on. We'll pull this plastic panel out of our way. Now the next step in the process you may or may not have to do. Some vehicles come with them, some don't. But if you have a shield right up in here, it'll be a plastic panel. You'll have 6 screws that you'll have to remove on the bottom of this plastic panel and then 1 flange nut that is on a stud. Ours doesn't even have the stud, so we don't have to worry about taking this panel off or anything. The studs will look just like those ones hanging out of your frame rail, and you'll have to cut that stud off. Now our next step is going to be lowering our exhaust. Anytime you lower a vehicle's exhaust, you want to provide a little bit of support under it so that a joint further up on the vehicle is not going to support it all. With this particular vehicle, I don't see any other exhaust hanger, so we definitely need to support it. You can kink the pipe, you can damage something, so just put a strap underneath it. We're going to take some silicone and spray it on the lower portion of our exhaust hanger. You can use soapy water, just make sure there's a lot of soap in it to make it slick. And then we'll take a pry bar. If you're lucky enough to have an exhaust hanger tool, those actually work better because you can just pry right out, but as long as you put something on there that's slick, it should pry right off. So we'll do that to our driver and passenger side. Now we're ready to start fishing our hardware. We're going to take our fish wire and we're going to run it back, all the way back to this elongated hole back here. If you slide your finger into this hole, you can wait for the fish wire to come back there. You push it against your finger, you can pull it out the end. Now we'll take a carriage bolt and our spacer block, spin that on there. We'll send the spacer block through this hole first, and then our carriage bolt. And you want to pull it through until it hangs out the bottom of our frame. What we'll want to do is we'll do the same thing for this other bottom hole, and then the same thing for these two top ones. Now with an extra set of hands, we've got Joe helping us out here. You want to run all of your fish wires through the holes in your hitch. Make sure that you're aligning the correct one up with the correct hole, because you would be very disappointed when you lift it up and it matches up to the wrong one. And with this many fish wires, it can get really, really confusing. So on your top bolts, you want to leave the fish or the bolts inside of the frame rail. And we were short one fish wire, so that's why this front one doesn't have one. But we'll take this fish wire, pull it off, and we'll follow it with a flange nut. Now these two that come through the frame, you'll just want to pull it through, lift your hitch up, pull it through, and these two are going to get a flange nut, and this one is going to get a lock washer and a standard nut. Now we can take an 18mm socket, and you want to snug up the bottom bolts first so that it sucks the hitch up tight to the bottom of the frame. And then we can tighten down the side one. Now we can come back and torque all of our hardware to the specifications and the instructions. Now we can put our plastic panels back up into place. We'll put these bolts back in there. The nice part about these panels is they already have that pre-cut hole to make up for where the bolt's at. Now we'll take our exhaust, slide it back on. Well guys, once you've got everything put back together, that's going to do it for our installation. Hopefully this video helped you decide whether or not the CURT Class 3 2-inch hitch receiver is right for you in your 2023 Ford Edge.